Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Dear third year students, today we are going to start our first topic, basic principles of the chemotherapy. Let's start with its term chemotherapy. If we look at the term chemotherapy, we will observe that it is the combination of two words. One is called chemo and another is called the therapy. Chemo is derived from the chemicals and therapy means the treatment, remedy, which means the treatment with the help of chemicals. Chemotherapy generally is familiar with the treatment of cancers. What is chemotherapy? Is the use of chemicals, either natural or synthetic, to inhibit the growth of other microorganisms. Means we use the chemical agents to inhibit or kill the microorganisms. These microorganisms are the pathogenic microorganisms which cause disease in our human or other animals. These microorganisms might be the bacteria, virus, fungi. You have studied all of these in the microbiology. If chemotherapy is intended for the bacterial infection, it will be known as the chemotherapy for bacterial infection. If the infection is caused by the virus, then it will be called as a chemotherapy for viral infection. Same with the fungal infection. The terms we will discuss again and again in the chemotherapy. One is called the antibiotics. What are the antibiotics? Antibiotics are the substances produced by the microorganisms which are selectively suppress the growth of or the kill the other microorganisms at very low concentration. So antibiotics are the substances produced from some other microorganisms, but these agents has ability to kill or inhibit the growth of other microorganisms. If antibiotic agents that has the ability to kill the bacteria, these agents will be called as the bactericidal agent. If the antibiotic agents has ability to inhibit the growth of other bacteria, then these agents will be known as the bacteriostatic. Next term is antimicrobial. Any substance of natural, synthetic or semi-synthetic origin which at a low concentration kill or inhibit the growth of the microorganisms but causes little or no host damage. These agents are intended to be toxic for the parasitic pathogenic cells but innocuous to the host. Their feasibility depends upon the existence of the exploitable biochemical differences between the parasites and the host. Means these agents must have ability to recognize the parasitic cells and the host cells, are the normal cells or the tumor cells. Let's start with the principle of antimicrobial chemotherapy. So let's start its first principle. Principle means the parameter. On what parameters you are selecting the chemotherapy and what agents you will include in your therapy. So before selection of any chemotherapeutic agent, you must have a knowledge about certain parameters. Number one, the diagnosis. The diagnosis is very much important. You must have a knowledge about the site of infection. For example, the site of infection might be the skin, or it is the inside the lungs, or any systemic site, for example, in urinary tract infections, GI tract infections. So you have to first identify the site of infection. What is the site of infection? After that, we have to diagnose about the responsible organ, the pathogenic organism. Which microorganism is responsible for the infection? Which bacteria, virus, or fungal infection? We have to identify, and we can identify them through the microscopic examination of the specimen. For the microscopic examination, you should have a sample specimen from body fluids or the infected sites. For example, it is the skin, you must have the biopsy of the skin, or it is might be the lung infection, you must have the specimen of the sputum. Then these specimen will further process slide staining, then observation under the microscope. Then third, the sensitivity of the drug. So we have to identify that which drug is sensitive for that organism. So we have to identify the minimum inhibitory concentration. Okay, which drug is inhibiting the growth of the microorganism. For example, if we identify the gram positive, so we will see which drug is responsible to kill the gram positive bacteria. If the responsible organism is gram negative, then we will look which drug has a broad spectrum or a gram negative spectrum. Decide the chemotherapy is necessary or not. The acute infection required chemotherapy, while chronic infection may not. The chronic abscess respond poorly, although the chemotherapy cover essential if surgery is undertaken to avoid flare-up of the infection. In the chronic conditions, if surgery is required, with the surgery, the chemotherapy is very much necessary for flare-up the infection, to avoid the flare-up of infection, to avoid burst of the infection, to avoid appearance of the infection. Select the drug. And what parameters we are going to select any drug? Its specificity, the spectrum of the activity. We will see whether it is a broad spectrum, whether it is a narrow spectrum. We will see its pharmacokinetic factors. What pharmacokinetic factors? We will see the protein drug binding capacity. For example, if we need a drug to cross the blood-brain barrier, we need mostly highly lipophilic nature drug to cross the blood-brain barrier. If a drug has a ability for the protein binding in the blood, it will poorly available for its action. Again, patient-related factors, allergic, renal diseases will also be kept in your mind. If a person renal dysfunction, we will be take care of himself. Sorry. We will see which drug is safe for the renal function, which drug has the lowest renal toxicity. We will prefer that drug. We will see the hepatotoxicity, the liver condition of a patient. We will see the renal condition of a patient. So after that, we will decide the frequency and the duration of a drug administration, the route of administration. Route of administration also depends upon the one drug nature and other the site of infection. For example, if you have any superficial skin infection, we will not go for the injection or IV route of administration. We will go through the skin preparation. Inadequate dose may develop resistance. So we have to very careful about the dose. If the dose is not adequate, it may cause a resistance. So microorganism will create resistance to that drug. Intermediate dose may not cure the infection. Optimized dose should be used for the therapy. Now continuous therapy, whether we have to continue therapy or not. Acute infection treated for 5 to 10 days, but some of the bacterial infection exception to this. Typhoid fever, tuberculosis, and infection endocarditis. After clinical cure, the therapy is continued to avoid the relapse. Test for a cure. After therapy, the symptoms and sign may disappear before pathogen eradicate. So we have to go for the test to stop our therapy. For example, in tuberculosis patient, if a person is treated for the 3 months or a 2 months and he has signs and symptoms are disappeared and he's feeling himself that he is very well, but the pathogen is still in his body, in his lungs, we have to test for his sputum whether the pathogen has been eradicated or not. Another prophylactic chemotherapy to avoid surgical site infections. Mostly in surgery, we used chemotherapy to avoid any infection. Okay, that's all for today. Next, we will discuss about the classification of the antibiotics. Thank you very much.